In lesson 3, we introduce one of the most important ideas in programming, conditional logic. This is how we teach our programs to make decisions based on data. So, we will write small examples inside main methods so we can easily see how conditions behave. So, what is a condition? A condition is simply a question the computer can answer with either true or false. For example, is the age above 18? Is the temperature below zero? Is the enter password correct? Using conditions, we control which code runs and which does not. So let's type, for example, int age equals 20. If age greater or equal to 18, then just print you are an adult. Let's run it. This is the simplest form of decision making. If the condition is true, the code inside the braces runs. If not, it is skipped entirely. Now let's add an else statement, and we are going to print out that you are not an adult. Let's run it again. Else gives the program an alternative path. Only one of these two blocks will run, either if true this braces, or if this condition is false, then this braces. So for example, if I change this value to 17 and run it, we are going to get the second statement. Now let's proceed to another example using else if, because when we have more than two possible outcomes, we can change conditions using else if. So for example, if I have in temperature equal 30 and I say that if temperature is greater than 35, then print at extremely hot day. Else if temperature greater than 25, then print that it's just a hot day. Now, else if temperature greater than 15, then just print that it's a warm day. And if anything of this is true, then print that it's a cold day. The order matters because Java checks from top to bottom and stops at the first condition that it's true. So in this case, it runs through here, it sees that it's false, then check this condition, and we got this response. If we, for example, we wanted to meet the third condition, then let's change the value to 20. Now it's just a warm day. And for the last condition to be met, if we put 14, now it's going to run through here. it will be false. Then here, then it will be again false. Here, again false. And lastly, because there is nothing else to check to do, the last path is this one. Okay, now let's proceed to comparing strings correctly. Strings require special handling in Java. To compare text, we never use double equal. We always use the method equals. But let's dive to see with examples. So let's say we have a a string which name is correct password, which equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and a string user input, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if user input equals correct password, then system.out println login successful. Else print incorrect password. If we run this, we get login successful. So, double equal compares memory references, not text. Equals compares the actual content of the string. This is a very common beginner mistake, so be careful. Now let's proceed on combining conditions and, or, and not. So we have again a boolean is adult is greater than 18 and boolean has id equals true. So if is adult and has id, then system.out.println access granted. Else means that access denied. Boolean student equals false. So if is adult or student, then let's print that discount applied. So double signs means both must be true in order for this condition to be true. These two braces means at least one must be true in order to this condition be true. And finally, if we write system.out.println is adult, this is a not operator. It flips the value. So if I run this, we will see that access denied because this condition is not true. This condition also wasn't true, so the code didn't run at all inside here, and we get from this line the value true because is adult equals with false. So this operator flips the value false to true. Now let's proceed to nested if statements. So let's say we have int score equals with 85. If score greater or equal to 50, then print that okay, we passed. If score greater 90 or equal to 90, then system.out println grade equals A. Else if score greater or equal to 75, then print that grade is B. Finally, print that grade is C. Else, it means that we totally failed. This is called nesting, an if statement which is inside another if statement. It allows more detailed logic, but too much nesting makes code harder to read. We will learn cleaner techniques later. For now, think about that if our score is greater or equal to 50, it means okay, we passed. But now we want also to evaluate the grade. So, since we have a score and since we passed, now if the score is greater or equal to 90, it means that your grade is A. If it's greater or equal to 75, means B. Otherwise, it's C. If initial the score was less than 50, then we failed. So in this condition, we passed and the grade is B. Let's demonstrate a simple time-based greeting. So I will say that int hour equals to 14. If hour is less than 12, then print good morning. Else if hour less than 18, then print good afternoon. Otherwise, just print good evening. And this is exactly how mobile apps, reminders, and notifications adjust their messages based on time. So, let's see some common mistakes. If hour equals 10, we are missing the parentheses here. Mistake number one. Conditions must always be inside parentheses. Mistake 2. If user input equals correct password. This is wrong. But why is wrong? We are comparing strings. And as we mentioned, for strings we must use equals, not double equals, but the method equals. Mistake number three. Thinking multiple conditions run in one chain. In an if-else, else-if-else chain, only one block executes. The moment Java finds a true condition, it stops, as we mentioned here. And mistake 4, if temperature greater than 20, else if temperature greater than 10. In the first condition, if the first condition covers values above 20, the next one must cover lower ranges without overlap. So, let's recap. Today, we explored how Java makes decisions, conditions, and Boolean expressions, the if statement, else if chains, else fallback cases, combining conditions with logical operators, nested decisions, correct string comparison, and common mistakes to avoid. This is the foundation of all decision making in programming. In lesson 4, we will learn about the switch statement, a clean and structured alternative to multiply else if conditions, especially when checking fixed values. After that, we will dive into loops. So, see ya!